Can Donald Trump golf? Seriously, you want to talk spin? You want to talk an issue that we don't know what to believe? Right, left, everybody has an opinion on Donald Trump's golf game and whether those who know him are honest about his game. Also, I gotta say, as an avid golfer, I kind of really wanted to do this. So I'm gonna give you my take about his swing and all that. Plus, I actually met him at his golf course. I have the proof. It's something, to say the least. I'm gonna get to that and more right here on The Spin Room. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, so President Donald Trump's golf game. Now, I have always been fascinated by these claims from the president about his prowess on the links. He claims to be a 2 handicap and a winner of many club championships. And as a media observer, I am equally interested in the discussion about the president's golfing from the partisan outlet. All the hyperventilating from the left-leaning outlets about how he plays too much, all the fawning from the right-leaning outlets about how good he is. Today, I want to try to get to the bottom of all that, really do a deep dive on the question, is Donald Trump good at golf? It's as simple as that. It is a question that I have been interested in going all the way back to when I actually met him back in 2005 at his course in Westchester, New York. There I am, 17-year-old Jesse. Look at me. Yes, that is a shark's tooth necklace. Am I proud of that? No. I don't know if the pop collar or gelled hair make it worse or not, but here's the deal. How did I meet him? And remember, this was like the height of The Apprentice, okay? So it was a very big deal. I was kind of starstruck. But actually, my father, who was in the fashion apparel industry, was in business with Donald Trump, did the shirt deal for him back in the day. Tell you what, maybe I'll actually bring him in on an episode. We could talk to him about his experiences being in business with the now president. But look, I didn't play with Trump. I didn't, but I did get a chance to meet him. Actually, funny story. I'm putting, maybe making, I think it was a 10-foot putt I made, and I hear a golf cart pull up and I hear a voice say, "Wow, great putt." The voice never changed. Talked to him, took a picture with him, all that. Okay, but back to today. So this all got my attention over the weekend when the president claimed that he won yet another club championship at his course in West Palm Beach. The president writing on Truth Social, quote, "I just won the golf club championship, probably my last, at Trump International Golf Club in Palm Beach County, Florida. Such a great honor. The awards dinner is tonight at the club. I want to thank the wonderful golf staff and all the many fantastic golfers that participated in the event. Such fun." So you could look at that and be like, yeah, he won again at his own club championship. Really? Is this like when there were reports that Kim Jong-il had shot a 34 and had like 5 hole-in-ones in one round? Or is the president, is Donald Trump really that good? You know, this topic is such a lightning rod on partisan cable news. You see the left-leaning analysts, like CNN's Brian Stelter, basically pearl clutching about how Trump is neglecting the business of the country, in this case, the deadly storms that tore through the Midwest and the South, to work on his short game.
Night. It's another symbol of Trump's priorities. He would rather be golfing, notably, by the way, golfing at Mar-a-Lago, golfing in South Florida this weekend, while dozens of people were killed in storms. I do wonder if he's going to get some heat for that contrast as he was celebrating his golf score over the weekend. It's a very interesting contrast. It's the kind of thing that Fox News would have destroyed Joe Biden for doing, but of course,
that is true. That is true.
When it comes to the current president.
I gotta say, that feels a little bit like a reach. He is right that Fox News probably would have done that, but especially when Trump was actually getting business done right after his round on Saturday. The White House releasing photos of Trump overseeing military strikes on Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen on Saturday. Heading to the 19th hole for Trump, right back to work for the president. And look, whether you're a fan of Donald Trump or a critic, I think we can all agree that there's one thing you really can't accuse him of, is that 60 days into his presidency, he's neglecting the job? I don't think so. There's been a flurry of activity, good, bad, whichever way you want to categorize it, out of the White House almost every single day. So given his work output thus far, I don't think a quick 18 holes every so often is really outside the bounds. Now, of course, on right-leaning Fox News, they went the other way with the afternoon panel show, The Five, not only mocking Trump's critics, but lavishing praise on him for his game and his ability to multitask.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Look, President Trump does his best work on the golf course. If you'll recall, he got Columbia to take back the prisoners between the 7th and 8th hole when he was playing golf. And I just contrast him.
Yeah, he just needs to solve all the national crisis, all the international crises right on the golf course. Just bring Putin and bring Zelensky on there. I'm sure it'll all be solved.
Listen to Joe on the beach without his shirt, lying down.
Of course. Got it. Throw that in.
Pretty good social media moment, right?
I suppose so. The thing, I just hate the fact that, this is such an important job and all he does is golf.
Yeah, on our dime.
Do you know, on our dime, do you know that out of the first 48 days of his presidency, he golfed for 13 days? That's according to the Huffington Post analysis. They analyzed his golfing. They neglected to point out that there are 7 weekends in 48 days. So 7 times Saturday and Sunday is 14. So he was golfing on the weekend.
And it was his own golf course, so it didn't cost us.
When there was that whole period when we would make fun of Obama for golfing, we take it all back. You took my line. Now watch this drive. This is my favorite lines from the Bush era. No,
I took it away.
you're brilliant.
Do you think Trump did a little cheating or he legitimately won, Brian?
I think we won because he hit the Houthis and he actually killed people who are terrorists.
Right back on track. Trump golfs, America wins. You heard it on Fox News. It's like, not everything Donald Trump does has to be awesome or terrible. There is a middle ground, no? I'm sorry. What am I talking about? Everything gets politicized. Let me say that again. Everything gets politicized. But as you would expect, the late night host absolutely went to town Monday on The Daily Show. We got Jon Stewart ramped up the sarcasm to like an 11 over Trump's big victory.
Victory, a quote, great honor.
Oh! He won the tournament at Trump International.
He is funny.
This dude's whole life, he's like the Make-A-Wish Batman kid. Hey, look at that, Donald. You caught all the criminals. Look, I'm opposed to anyone rolling back American democracy, but I do tip the cap to any 78-year-old winning a golf tournament. And by the way, still having enough energy left to stroll into the command center in his golf attire to bomb the shit out of Yemen. Yeah. Now look, anyone can bomb the shit out of Yemen after 9 holes, but 18?
I'll always think Jon Stewart's hilarious, by the way. But yes, Stewart is not buying Trump's club championship claim. And neither, by the way, shocker, is Jimmy Kimmel, who questioned the quality of Trump's competition.
Wow, this is the 3rd year in a row he's won his own tournament. Who are the other players in this tournament? I mean, seriously, are there other golfers, or is it just Eric with his Fisher-Price clubs?
Honestly, that made me laugh. But look, he brings up a good point, okay? Trump winning all these club championships means a bunch of other accomplished players have lost. That's the way it works, these championships. And as a golfer, I can tell you that just about every private club in America has some really, really good players. And the Trump clubs, I got to tell you, they rank among some of the top courses in the country. They are not easy courses to shoot a low score. So a lot of their members are truly elite. By the way, it's got to be like the holy grail to beat Trump in a club championship at his own club. It's kind of like the Washington Generals losing almost, 2,500 times to the Harlem Globetrotters before finally beating them. Big moment when you finally do it. But yes, count Jimmy Kimmel as a skeptic. The ABC late night host wants some more information before he accepts Trump's claims of victory.
Congratulations to Liger Woods on winning his own.
Liger Woods.
I want to see a full 580-page investigation of this tournament. I want to know everything. I want scorecards. I want video. I want affidavits from the caddies. I want a forensic investigation of every divot he didn't bother to replace. How is it possible that this guy beats every other golfer every year?
Oh, champion. Oh my God, I got that on video.
You didn't hear? Pam Bondi is authorizing that investigation. Kash Patel's on it. Now look, on one hand, I get it. I get being skeptical, okay? But on the other hand, to show that video, we've all been there. It's golf, okay? It's hard to judge somebody by their worst shot. We all do it. Now, while we can't do the forensic accounting of this particular tournament that Jimmy Kimmel requested, we certainly can take a closer look at Trump's golf game at large because, yeah, if you're judging off of that one clip that Jimmy Kimmel showed, it's pretty hard to imagine that Trump has come close to winning one club championship, let alone all of them, or 30 or more. I actually went down a rabbit hole on this, looking into the last number that I could find on the record. He was 18. Trump said in 2013 that he won 18 club championships. But since then, there have been a host of others. I mean, just last year, during an infamous exchange in his debate with former President Joe Biden, Trump claimed that he captured 2 more titles in 2024 alone.
I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way, and I do it.
To this day, one of my favorite quotes of all time. You have to be quite smart to play good golf. Really? Really? I mean, sure. Sometimes it takes a little brain power to decide between hitting a 6-iron or a 7-iron to lay up, to go for it. You got the wind, you got uphill, downhill, got to calculate some things. But it's not like they make you take an IQ test on the 9th hole or anything. Trust me, I have played with some golfers before where I wonder if all they're thinking about are like hot dogs as they swing. There's not much up there. But 2 club championships in 2024 while running for president, another 2025 while actually serving as president. Is it legit? It's a question that has fascinated so many people on both sides for so long. And famed sports writer Rick Riley actually wrote a whole book about Donald Trump's golf game called Commander-in-Chief. You can see where it went. Famously went to CNN back in 2019 to deliver a brutal assessment of Donald Trump's game and his penchant for bending the rules.
He cheats like a mafia accountant. Like he cheats crazy. He cheats whether you're watching or not. He cheats whether you like it or not. He tried to cheat Tiger Woods in a match, and Tiger hits it like this. He hits 2 balls in the water, doesn't count either, and pretends that he almost tied Tiger Woods.
All right, yeah, that one's a little hard to buy. The idea that he tied Tiger Woods, can't really see that happening, even now that Tiger's getting a little long in the tooth. But what about the club championships, right? That's what we're talking about. And when you analyze somebody's golf game, it is important to understand what a handicap is and how you get one. So a handicap is a number that is designed to level the playing field for golfers. The idea being that if one player has a 2 handicap and the other is a 10, the 10 handicap could subtract 8 strokes from their score, and in theory, you'd have an evenly competitive match. The lower the number, the better you are. And the calculation's a little complicated, but the number basically represents the number of shots above par you're likely to be in an average round of golf. Now, Trump right now claims to be a 2.8, and let me tell you something. That is exceptional, okay? That is really good. Averaging basically 3 over par per round, particularly on the caliber of courses that he plays, that would almost make him good enough to qualify for professional tournaments on the senior tour. But remember, this is a self-reported number, so it's worth hearing from people who've actually played with Donald Trump. And I'll tell you what, you might be surprised to learn that some people who aren't even Trump fans have some nice things to say about Donald Trump's game. That includes Jim Acosta. Remember, the former anchor on CNN got into a lot of verbal spats with Trump. He was definitely taken aback to hear Michael Cohen, President Trump's former fixer, who's now staunchly anti-Trump, speak quite highly of Trump's prowess on the links.
We got Trump winning a golf championship at one of his golf courses in
Unreal.
Florida.
Yeah. Well, he says he won. They say he won. I mean, we have to be careful because, you know, it is his club. It is his tournament. I saw some video. Perhaps it was not correct video. I don't know. It looked like it was video from over the weekend, but it looked like he shanked one off in the woods. When you shank one off into the woods, you don't typically come down with the trophy at the end of the round. But I don't know.
So let me just say this: he happens to be a good golfer. I've seen him legitimately play. He's probably a 4 handicap. All right. And that's an excellent golfer.
That's something. Wow. Michael Cohen, who, as we all know, hasn't had very many nice things to say about Donald Trump in recent years. Some very high praise for the president there on his golf game. A 4 handicap? That is incredible. Now, of course, the claims about Trump's golf game really became hard to believe when you hear some of his allies boasting about them in a clear effort to flatter him. I mean, last year at a Trump rally, Congressman Brian Jack dropped a true whopper on the adoring crowd.
I'm not sure if I should say this, but just a few weeks ago, President Trump put to shame 2 professional golfers. I ain't gonna mention their names, but just know he shot a 70 on 18 holes.
All right, really? Come on. You put 2 pros to shame? Really? Come on. Do you know how good you have to be to ever put any professional golfer to shame? It is so scary how good the pros are at golf, because take the best player you know, best player you've ever played with, okay? Personally. The pros would wipe the floor with that person every day on any course, any conditions. That is the truth. That's how good they are. Now, Trump does play with the pros all the time, and I will tell you, it is very interesting how few have ever gone on the record with their assessment of Trump's golf game. But we got Ernie Els, Hall of Famer golfer who's won numerous major championships. He is one of the few who's ever given a candid assessment. And he told the Palm Beach Post that Trump is really more like a 10 to 12 handicap. Els said that Trump was a pretty good putter, but needed to do the short game practice, short game being those shots when you're close the hole out. Some of the 10 to 20 yard shots can be really, really tough. It's all about touch. You got to get the ball to stop. But hey, one thing I do want to make clear about this, a 10 to 12 handicap is still a good player, especially at Donald Trump's age. There are a lot of 70-somethings out there, maybe even 20-somethings out there who would love to be a 10 to 12 handicap. But here's the thing. There was so much conjecture out there about Donald Trump's game until last year, when the first significant footage of Trump golfing in many, many years went public, because Trump played 18 holes at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf course with U.S. Open champion Bryson DeChambeau in a video for DeChambeau's YouTube channel. And finally, okay, so much of the speculation was seemingly put to rest. But not surprisingly, what you had was people on both sides selectively editing the video to fit their agenda. Sound familiar? You got right-wing accounts who ran wild with several shots from the president, including Trump draining a 20-foot putt on the 18th hole. This is not an easy putt. Right to left.
Let's go!
That's how we do it. That's a big curve right there. That is not an easy shot, okay? You got that big break, a little too hard. It could have gone right past it. You do it a little too inside, would have gone all the way left. I mean, that is a nice putt. By the way, he also drove the green on the par 4 12th in front of Bryson DeChambeau.
A little into the wind, maybe. Just replay flat. Oh, yeah. Get up there. Get up. Yes. Yes.
That's awesome. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. I mean, that was a good shot. He trickled to within, 8 feet. That is a great shot. He went on to make that eagle putt, by the way. So good stuff. By the way, that's 2 under par. Good stuff from the commander-in-chief. Now, to pour a little cold water on it, gotta give a little context. The hole was only playing 210 yards. Trump was playing from tees that were way up, and it was all part of this special gimmick for the video where he and DeChambeau would combine to shoot less than 50 for the entire round. They came up just a little short, but hey, still a really good shot. There was no editing there. It's not AI, okay? It was still a great one. Now, look, it was hyped up to make it look like Trump is Arnold Palmer, but the exact opposite thing was happening on the left. You had an edited clip of all of Trump's missed putts from the round that went viral.
Go, short.
Putting's not easy, okay? It's not easy.
Could happen.
Go. It didn't break that hard.
This could be.
Get in there. Get in. Get in.
I mean, who hasn't been there? Who hasn't been there? Don't act like you weren't.
That's all right. Come on. Going. Go. Reload.
These are not like terrible misses. You want to get 2 putts. The goal is 2 putts. The goal in golf, you get on the green, 2 putts.
Come on. It's not that they're bad.
He said it. It's not that they're bad.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, that was close. He does have an unusual stroke, though, I will tell you that. Yeah, to be clear, you wouldn't teach his putting stroke to a beginner. It's kind of like juts it a little bit. It's odd, to say the least. But here's the thing. Thing in golf, if it works for him, great. Everybody's swing looks a little weird or a little bit different, okay? Those were all very hard putts. Not an easy course. We just saw it. And at that distance, you're just trying to get it close for the most part. You're trying to get a 2-putt. That's the goal. He did, looks like, for the most part. Look, my take, here's my take. Watching all this footage, the guy can play, okay? If you watch his swing, he gets what we call coming down the line. He gets into that sweet spot. He has a good turn. He's not driving it 300 yards, But look, from his tees and what he's trying to do, you don't have to. He's getting into position. The shots that I've seen so far, he can put the ball where he needs to. He puts it in place and he puts it into play. Of course, conditions matter, and that can change a great score from a bad score. We have good days, we have bad days. But that's why I think it is really tough to judge somebody, their golf game, from 1 or 2 rounds. You really need to see them play. And you can't just take all the bad shots and put it together, all the good shots and put it together. Everyone hits a rut. Everyone has a high streak. But look, here's the thing. Your top score is technically what you're capable of doing. You just got to execute it. So with so much in the media and politics, there is not entirely a clear answer here. It's a little more nuanced. It's not so simple. But man, the hyper partisans on both sides want to make it seem like either he's the greatest golfer ever or he's the worst. He's neither. He's a good player. Maybe not the best ever, not the greatest we've ever seen, but definitely really, really good. I would love to give you a firsthand assessment someday of his golf game. Almost had the chance when I was 17. Maybe one day we'll see what happens. But thanks for stopping by the Spin Room. I'm Jesse Weber. We'll see you next time.